Right.
And last but not least, planning.
Okay.
Planning is very key. Planning makes you play smart. Even a sport like football,
yes,
you must plan.
Tactically.
Tactic is very, very important. That is where you play smart. That's where you work smart. So those are 7 Ps. And you have not invested in passive income stream, then that is risky.
Okay.
Because job comes and goes.
Yes, sure.
Tomorrow you could be, and we have seen many people who earn high incomes, wait until, for one reason or the other, they stopped working. They stop working. Your purpose, your motivation, your vision. How big is your vision? In one of our episodes, we say the poorest person on earth is not a person without money or capital. It's one who doesn't have a dream.
Okay.
That this wealth is not yours. You're managing on behalf of God. And therefore, you should use the right principles and values to create wealth and manage wealth.
All right. All right, very good evening to you, and I believe you're having a great weekend. Karibu sana. This is the Overflow show, and we're just right in time to have a great conversation tonight. And I want to believe if you've been following us, you're up to where we are as of now, because we've been covering quite much on wealth creation. If you missed the previous conversations, you can catch them right on our YouTube channel. That is at Hope TV Kenya. And of course, I will be so glad to have you join us tonight to the end of the program. They call me Favored Frank. This is Hope TV, where you look and live. And of course, Hope FM, where you listen and live. If you got any feedback, feel free to share with us. The number scrolling down at the screen. And we really invite you to partner with us to keep this program on air. You can actually do this by becoming a friend of Hope. That is by partnering with us. Go to the M-Pesa menu, Lipa na M-Pesa. The pay bill option and the pay bill number is 933-933. That is 933-933. The account name is FOH Overflow. FOH Overflow. The amount 100 bob, 200, 1,000, 1 million. Any amount God enables you, you can support us and partner with us on this program. All right, we have this is Dr. James Karau in studio tonight to help us with the conversation we are having. If you got any question, we have our number still scrolling down at the screen. Feel free to share with us your feedback. I'll be so happy to engage with you. Dr. How are you?
Yeah, fine, David.
You're great?
I'm great.
How's the weekend?
The weekend has been fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. The week, maybe?
Even the week, it's begun well.
You in school?
Yeah, we're in school.
At the university?
We are still in session.
All right.
We just doing the exams. Yeah.
All right. That's great. So last week we did a conversation and we talked about maybe foundations. But before we get to that, there's somebody who's tuned in for the first time tonight. If you could just do a little bit of your introduction.
Yeah, my name is Dr. James Karau. I'm an economist by profession.
Okay.
I teach at the university. I'm a consultant. Beside other things, I am married. I'm a Christian. I'm a born-again Christian. And I'm a facilitator of the Overflow show, as I said. And we continue with the matters money, wealth creation.
Yeah.
And even as we begin, I'm reminded of a story in the Bible where there was a small city that was attacked by a mighty king. And the Bible says that there lived a poor man in that small country who saved the city by his wisdom, but he was later forgotten. The Bible goes on to say the wisdom of poor man is despised. Never to be surprised how poverty can be degrading, that people are looked down upon, sometimes dishonored, disrespected because of the economic status.
Yes.
And therefore, it is very, very important if one can endeavor to create wealth, at least to maintain human dignity. Because you and I know how people who are down there in terms of economic status are looked down upon and are despised, so to say.
Yes.
And what even affects me is when I see people worshiping people who are moneyed because they are the ones who pay the bills.
In circumstances, maybe those scenarios when you have those who are endowed financially, given some, benefit.
A lot of attention.
Yes.
There once came a very rich person in our village, a senior politician at that time. And I was a young boy.
Yes.
he came to visit a neighborhood school, the school in our neighborhood. And I went there. I've never forgotten this. I was a very young boy, maybe in class 5, grade 5, 7 there, 6 there. And I could not get what the man was saying. It was not making sense, but people were clapping. And I wondered, what point has he said? And I have seen people give other people speak and they give great wisdom, but they are not applauded because of the economic status.
Yeah.
And so it is very, very important that we work hard to create wealth so that we are not looked down upon.
Yes, yeah.
I normally feel for the parents who have to pay a lot of respect to their children because they are wealthy and they're the ones who pay their bills. You can imagine your dad back in the village at his age, or my dad in his 80s.
Yes.
And because he doesn't have much wealth, there is this brother of yours who calls the shots in the family.
Yeah.
Not because he is wise, but he's the one who pays the bills.
Yeah.
And that's not a good situation to be in.
Yeah.
Where you cannot even speak because of economic status. It's not a good thing to be in. And that's why we focus on wealth creation. We have been doing a series.
Yes.
And the last episode, we focused on the foundations of wealth creation. Because there's a foundation upon which you build wealth.
Yes.
And if you don't have that foundation, everything else will not really stand the test of time.
All right.
And we talked about 7 P's. I will not go there. I will just highlight them because the listeners and the viewers can go back to the episode.
Yeah, sure.
Be it on YouTube or on our website.
Yeah.
We talked about 7 P's, which actually form the foundations of wealth creation. P number 1 is about purpose.
Yes.
That wealth creation is directed by purpose. You have to have a vision, a definite goal. That you don't make wealth out of a random. It's not random or chance.
Yes.
Secondly, wealth is about people. Wealth is about people.
Yes.
If you learn how to relate with people, you create social capital. You know how to partner with people. Wealth is about people. It's Zig Ziglar who said something that I still marvel at, that you can get what you want in life if you help enough people get what they want.
All right.
Thirdly, people come with problems. Wealth creation is about providing solutions for the people's problems. Identify that problem that you can solve. All of us, I want to believe, were created to be solutions to solve problems. It's a need in the society, as you're saying.
All right.
Identify with a need for which you are burdened and you have the gift, the potential. And the next P is the potential.
Yes.
Your wealth is in your potential. What gift? Everybody has been created with a gift.
Yes.
And your wealth is in your potential. Potential has to do with your talent, with your gift, with your skills, with experience. What is it that you can do to create wealth? And then you must convert that potential into a product. That's the next P.
All right.
That just your gift in its raw form may not sell in the market.
All right.
Market is for the goods and services that have a market value. It's for products. Products are goods and services.
To package the gift.
You have to package the gift. You have to package your skills in a form that can be sold in form of a product. And then a product will sell depending on its performance.
All right.
Performance is key in wealth creation. Companies that do well, people that do well in wealth creation because they exceed expectations. Their performance is at another level.
Okay.
Wealth does not respect mediocrity. And poverty and mediocrity are good bedfellows.
All right.
They are good. They have very good fellowship. That where there's mediocrity, where there's poor performance in everything that you do in the marketplace, then you not attract much wealth.
Dr. Allow me to maybe take you a little off before you continue to the next P. There's people who say that you don't apply the school knowledge in the street, you know, in the marketplace.
Yeah, I agree.
They say that kuna mchezo wa town.
Yeah. And mchezo wa town is playing smart. And playing smart is know what matters in the marketplace, in the streets. And those are the P's I'm giving you. Those are the foundations. If you don't know how to relate with people and you're a professor, or you have a PhD in economics or PhD in business or entrepreneurship, you'll not go very far.
All right.
You must know how to relate with people. You must know how to package your gift into a product. You must know how to perform well, how to talk well to people. You must have emotional intelligence. Those are the things that matter.
All right.
And last but not least, planning.
Okay.
Planning is very key. Planning makes you play smart. Even a sport like football,
yes,
you must plan.
Tactically.
Tactic is very, very important. That is where you play smart. That's where you work smart. So those are 7 P's. Purpose, people, problem, potential, product, performance, and planning.
Wow.
Very key.
Awesome. That's profound.
That constitutes the foundations of wealth creation.
Great. You can visit our YouTube channel to catch that episode if you missed it last weekend. Dr. Let's talk about leveraging now different streams.
Yeah.
You talked about portfolio diversification. Yes.
For you to move to a good space in wealth creation, you must invest in different investment products or assets that generate income. We talked about 7 streams of income. And we started with earned income, where you have to earn active income. Yes. You have to labor for it. You have to report to work for it. For you to be wealthy, you must invest in different streams of income that you generate your passive income. That does not depend on whether you go to work or not.
All right.
Yeah, the Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 1-2 there, that invest in many ventures.
Yes.
7, 8. For you don't know what a disaster may come upon the land. Yeah. You don't know.
Yes.
We normally say don't put your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, sure.
It's good to splend. And portfolio diversification is about spreading your investment across different sectors, different assets, even different countries.
Yes. Okay.
We don't just have investment in one country. You invest overseas.
Yes.
You don't have investment in only one sector. You have different sectors. You have different products that actually generate passive income. Right. Remember we talked about the difference between active income and passive income.
Yes.
Now what differentiates the poor and the rich is that the rich have what you call portfolio diversification. They have invested in different products, in different sectors, they have taken advantage of multiple income streams, and therefore they are able to generate passive income without them being directly involved.
Yeah.
Until you go to that space, then you may not talk about being wealthy. However much you are earning, even if you are earning tens of millions per month out of gainful employment, active income, and you have not invested in passive income stream, then that is risky.
Okay.
Because job comes and goes.
Yes, sure.
Tomorrow you could be, and we have seen many people who earn high incomes, wait until, for one reason or the other, they stopped working. They stop working. And they don't have something to fall back to.
Yes.
Because what happens with an income, especially high incomes, they make you live in a certain class. Take your children to the best of the schools, the international schools, where you're paying maybe hundreds of thousands for school fees.
There is a standard.
There's a standard. You live in posh estate, and maybe the house is even rented.
Yes.
You drive very sleek cars. But if you have nothing beyond that in terms of investing in multiple income streams, then you don't do very well.
All right.
So that's about diversification. And today we want to focus on, and last time we talked about income generating assets that you can invest in. Yeah. We talked about investing in business where you sell goods and services. We talked about real estate to do with land and whatever structures are attached to that land.
Yes.
We talked about paper assets like bonds, treasury bills. We talked about digital assets and commodities among the assets you can invest in that cut across different sectors in the economy. And I want to focus on one of them that one can leverage, especially for someone who is working. Yes. Either you're employed or you're self-employed. And that is money market.
Okay. Okay.
Because at times, people who are working, be it in employed or self-employed, you may not have time to do another thing or to invest in different areas. But we have a very good opportunity in money market. And I want to spend some few minutes talk about money market, because money market is very easy.
It's something that has been on the trend for quite a while lately, because many people are talking about money market funds. But now there is a section of people who really don't understand what exactly it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And if they understood and if they started investing in money market, money market, money is made for you when you are sleeping.
Yes.
So what is money market? Money market is just an exchanged market where people lend money and borrow at an interest.
Okay.
So what happened? Money market operates through what we call MMFs. That is money market funds. And money market funds is whereby people invest in a mutual fund. And the managers of the mutual fund pool the resources together, invest for them on their behalf in different sectors, in different areas.
Yes.
And then they give you the returns on their behalf, minus maybe their management fee.
So maybe in a layman's language, you're saying you trade your money.
You trade your money.
If your money comes with something.
Yeah, it comes with something. Right. You see, the way banks make money, you know, when you take money to the bank, you have a saving account, you deposit. And what happens? Someone comes and borrows that money. Yeah. And the bank charges an interest that is much higher than the little interest they give you on a saving account.
Yes.
So if you deposit money, the traditional model of banking is people deposit money in a saving account. It earns almost insignificant interest.
Yes.
Insignificant. You don't even notice.
You can't notice.
You took $1 million to the bank in a saving account.
Yes.
If you came even after 5 years, it will be insignificant interest.
Not noticeable.
Now, there's a better place you can put that money. Open a money market account.
Yes.
Look for a mutual fund because there are many. Open a mutual funds account. Be depositing some money there, saving.
Yes.
And those people, the fund managers, will invest on your behalf in different instruments.
Yes.
And give you at a much higher interest than the bank would give you.
Okay.
There are several advantages. But how do you invest in a money market? Very simple. Open a money market account.
Yes.
Once you identify the fund manager, they will tell you the requirement. They will tell you, fill this form for us, an application form.
Yeah.
Give us maybe a PIN certificate,
yes,
a copy of your ID, your particulars.
So most of these things,
it's online.
Online, right?
It's online. You don't even live anywhere or go to an office.
Yes.
Just identify
right at home,
a fund manager. And there are many. You can even Google fund managers with their interest and their performance. Then contact them. They'll send you a form online.
Yes.
They tell you, fill that form, attach your particulars, maybe a copy of your ID, a copy of your PIN certificate. They'll tell you.
Yes.
The good thing with fund managers or money market, the minimum could be as low as 5,000.
Yes.
Different fund managers, mutual funds may ask for different minimum
I've seen
amount.
one with 1,000.
Yeah. So you start with 5,000. And every time you want to do savings, can be as little as 500 or 1,000, depending on the mutual fund. So whenever you get money, because you could be earning money from different sources, just like paying tithe, make sure perhaps 10% of every money you make, send it to the money market account.
All right.
So what happens? The different people, and not only people, even corporate entities, companies, they also invest in money market.
All right.
By the way of lending to the money market or to the MMFs, the money market funds. And then the money market fund invest on your behalf. The people who have put the resources together, they can buy treasury bills, treasury bonds, corporate bonds. They invest in different instruments and at a higher interest. And they give you a return on your investment at much higher interest compared to a saving account.
Okay.
Right now, it could be in tune of about 10%. Some will give you 12%, 15% as an interest per annum. The bank will not give you that as a saving account.
Maybe does the money market fund compound daily?
Yeah. Okay. Depending on how they calculate their interest, some, of course, it compounds daily. It's what we call compound interest.
Yes.
And that's the advantage. The other advantage as opposed to earning your compounding, as opposed to earning a simple interest.
All right.
So once you do that, you can now be depositing little monies in the saving. Whenever you do some job somewhere, and even your monthly salary, put it in a money market, and they invest on your behalf, and they give you higher returns. Not many investment can give you that kind of a return of about 2 digits, 10, around 10. That's higher. And you see, it doesn't cost you much.
Yeah, sure.
So what are the advantages of saving in a money market? And the advantages are many. One, the return on investment.
Okay.
Not many investment favored.
We
will give you that kind of an interest. 10%, others 15%, depending on the money. Even 18%. 18%. So that's one. A high rate of return on your investment compared to other forms of investment, like saving accounts. Secondly, the risks are very low.
Okay.
Very low. This is not like a business you start and you're like, the sunk cost is very high. I mean, you're giving them. And there's almost no risk because chances of money market going down are very low.
Minimal.
Thirdly, there is what you call professional management.
Okay.
I mean, fund managers are professionals. They are experienced.
Yes.
And so what they do, since they have the experience, the financial education that you don't have, the financial skills, they know where to put your money. They know which are the ventures that you attract the highest returns on your investment. You don't have that knowledge. You could be in a different sector, but you are sure your funds, your money is being run by professionals. So you can access professional expertise by saving in money market. And then fourthly, the good thing about money market, the investment is so low. We are saying that the initial investment could be as low as 5,000. And the continuous could be as low as 500, 1,000, depending on MMF. So not many businesses, again, not many ventures will require that little amount of money.
Flexibility, and convenience.
And then liquidity is another advantage. What do I mean by liquidity? You can get back money. You can withdraw money with a relative ease. You just contact them. Some of them within 2 days, 48 hours, you get the money. You just write to them, ask them, I would want to withdraw 20,000, 30,000, depending on your saving, and you get that money. And then there is also what you call regulatory oversight. Like money markets in this country they are regulated by the Capital Markets Authority, which on behalf of the investors, they make sure the money market fund actually complies with the rules and the regulations to safeguard the funds of the investors. So there's that regulatory supervision by the money market, Capital Markets Authority. And there could be many, many advantages. But what are some of the instruments that money market uses to invest in your funds? Because there are several. And some of them you can even invest directly. We may not be able to exhaust all of them. But some of the financial instruments that the money market uses to invest your fund is treasury bills, treasury bonds, corporate bonds, and the like. And treasury bonds is whereby you read the government money. You know, government borrows money from the public. You have heard about what is called public debt. This is whereby government borrows from the public,
the citizens,
and they issues a financial instrument called treasury bill or treasury bond. That's just a debt security, whereby the government is telling you, buy the treasury bill, and I'll give you a return on this at this rate. So we have different types of treasury bills and treasury bonds. Treasury bills are short term because they mature within 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. What that means is that after 3 months you can get back your money, the principal amount and the interest, or after 6 months and even 1 year. Those are treasury bills. You need to have about 50,000 to invest in treasury bills, and you can even buy them directly. You don't have to go through a money market fund. And that's the other advantage. You just open an account with Central Bank of Kenya, and you can monitor when to buy the treasury bills at different interest rates. And therefore, the advantage is you don't have to pay the management fee, because when you invest through the money market fund, you pay management fee. But when you invest directly, you only pay the withholding tax. Maybe another thing I should have said is that money market attracts two kinds of fees. If you invest through MMFs, you pay the management fee because those people are managing on your behalf. But usually it's a small percentage. And then you pay what you call the withholding tax. The last time I checked, I think it was 15% in this country. That is 15% of the interest that you get of your earning. Treasury bonds are long term. It's between 1 year to 30 years. So your principal can only mature after 1 year to 30 years, depending on how many years you'd want.
So annually you can collect something?
You're paid twice per annum, semi-annually. Every 6 months per year, you get your interest, but your money matures. That means you get back your principal plus interest after the number of years for which you have bought the bond. So then you also have corporate bonds. Corporate bonds is now a company, a corporation issues a debt security. They want to borrow from the public. So they issue what you call corporate bond, and they give you at an interest also, just like the bank, only that this one is now from the corporate, a big company or a big financial institution. Then they also invest in what you call commercial papers. Commercial papers is where you borrow from other companies and they give you at an interest. We also have what you call bank. There are several financial instruments. Time will not allow me to go into that, but the most common is treasury bills, treasury bonds, and corporate. But another one that is also very common is what you call COD, certificate of deposits. This one you can even do it on your own. You don't have to go through a money market fund. Instead of putting your money in a saving account, open what you call a fixed deposit account.
Okay.
Fixed deposit account has much higher interest than a savings account, but it has some conditions. It can only mature after a certain period of time.
All right.
Let's say 3 months or 6, depending on how you specify. That you cannot just walk into the bank and tell them, give me back my savings.
Yeah.
No, it's a fixed deposit. So, and they give you a fixed interest, which is usually very high. Not very high, but at least higher than the savings account.
All right.
So that's another financial instrument that one can take advantage of. If you have like $1 million and you want to put it in a business, but you have not put everything in place,
yes,
what would be the best place to put that money so that by the time you take that $1 million and invest in a business, it will have earned some money.
All right.
A fixed deposit account. What you call certificate of deposit is very, very good because it will give you a higher interest. It will compete with the money market fund.
All right. Dr. I think we just need to hold it up right there. Just hold the thought. We'll be taking a very short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be diving deeper into what Dr. is sharing tonight, those financial instruments that you can, leverage to grow your wealth. They call me Favored Frank. Please stay with us. I see you in a while.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better. And I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Cindy.
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcasts?
Really? Even which of the what?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
Rafiki soul is the promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki soul is a promise of a hand that reaches and goes beyond what angaza tumaini kote. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. I'm forever grateful. Ninashukuru ukarimu, ukarimu. Rafiki msoul.
Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive.
All right. Thank you so much for staying with us. This is the Overflow Show. It is where you live your life in abundance. All right. And we're on Hope TV, where you look and live, and on Hope FM, where you listen and live, and of course on our YouTube channel, that is at Hope TV Kenya. Thank you so much for creating time. If you got any question, any feedback, feel free to share with us. The numbers on the screen. And we have Dr. in studio who's helping us unpack the conversation on wealth creation. And we've had several episodes before. If you're just joining us for the show, you can visit our YouTube channel to catch up with the previous episodes. Dr. we were talking about
money market.
Those are money market funds, and you talked of the instruments used, in money market funds. So would you want to talk about somebody's asking themselves now, what do I consider before I choose a money market fund?
And why we first of all focused on money market is because there are many people out there who could have made some savings and they don't know where to take it.
Yes.
And that saving may not be enough to invest in a business. But it could be in a transition period. I remember some time back, a student came to me. I was teaching her a certain course, and she was running a business, and she told me, I have saved 100,000 and I don't have where to take it. Do I just let it? This is a student. Do I just let it lie in the savings account, or where can I take the money? And I told her, please just consider money markets.
Yes.
It's a very easy option, and it do not require your direct involvement. You just open an account. And money market has been a solution for many investors, especially those who are very much occupied in their daily employment.
Yes.
And they have no breathing space to supervise other investment. Money market is whereby you put your money, and professional managers of your fund are taking care of your money by investing in a portfolio that is quite lucrative.
Okay.
And we have talked about the various instruments that they use. Some of them you can actually invest in them directly and escape the management fee, like treasury bills, treasury bonds, certificate of deposits. That's where you can actually invest directly without going through the money market funds.
All right.
But what you consider when you are investing in money market, which mutual fund do you consider? That's very, very important. It's just like asking yourself, where do I put my eggs? In which basket? Because there are so many baskets.
Yes.
Where do I put my money? So that, of course, you don't burn your fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have several money market funds in this country, globally. So it's wise to know which is a stable money market fund. What are the factors to consider? And there are a number of them. Number one is, what is the return on investment?
Okay.
Return on investment. What interest do they give you? It's usually in terms of percentages per annum.
Yes.
Some will tell you 10%, 12%, 15%. Of course, you want to maximize on your return.
Yes.
Go to where there is the highest return.
Yeah.
But always be aware that return does not come as gross. If you invest through money market, they'll charge you management fee. Check now, how much money will I pay for management fee? So apart from just the gross return, because they will tell you 12%, 15%, 18%, but they may not have clearly mentioned the management fee. So ask yourself, out of the interest you're getting, what is your management fee? How big is it? So again, different money market funds have different management fees.
All right.
So those charges go where they are not as much. Then you also consider, apart from professional fees or management fees, remember money market funds, the returns attract what we call withholding tax.
Yes.
But that one is a government obligation, is a statutory obligation. It's cut across all the money market funds, so you may not do much about that. Then the other thing that you have to consider is the investment capital. How much money does the MMF require for me to invest? Again, it may vary. Some may require only 1,000, others 5,000, others 10,000. Is it within your reach? Can you afford? If they are requiring a very high capital that is beyond your reach, then you may not go for that. And then consider, what about the daily injections, the regular injections? How low is it? Or how high is it? Some may require 500 or even less. That means, depending again on the investor, is it within your reach? Others may require much more. So what is the minimum regular injections you can be putting? And especially if you're a small scale business person or investor, where you get money in terms of hundreds. Can that money market fund accept 100 as part of regular injections?
Yes.
Then look at liquidity. How easily can I withdraw the money? Again, they may have different periods of time. Some maybe one day, you just make a request the following day or within 24 hours.
Yes.
Others could be 48 hours. So consider, depending on what you do with money, is it that you may require regularly?
Yes.
Or you don't mind about the period? It's also good to consider that. Then look at the risk. Assess the risk. How do you assess the risk? Look at how that company has been operating.
Yes.
Has it been there for long? Has it been stable? Has it been involved in a scandal?
Yes.
Part of
seek reviews.
Yeah, seek reviews. How have they been performing? Because we have had companies that come and promise heaven, but they have no experience. They promise on something that cannot deliver. Look at the past experience. Secondly, how is it managed? Is there professional management? Look at the fund managers.
Yes.
Are there people with experience and relevant skills to be entrusted with your fund? Look at the portfolio that they invest in. Is it something that you think it is credible? Is it something that is stable? Something that is lucrative? So there are all these factors that one can look at, and there are several more. That before you invest in money markets, consider all those factors.
All right.
Yeah. It's just like asking yourself, where do I take my child to school?
Yeah.
You want a school that has been performing well,
Yes.
that is stable, that delivers, that has a good mean score.
Yeah.
Same case.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. Like I said, you've talked about money market funds. Now we want to see how then when somebody wants to consider most of the investment avenues available.
Yeah.
Now, what are these 5 P's? The P's for investment models.
I want to say, Vivid, one may wonder. The Bible says, "Naked we came, and naked we shall depart."
Yes.
Remember that scripture?
Yeah.
That we came with nothing, we brought nothing, and we shall leave with nothing. There are people, when they came to the face of this earth, they accumulate a lot. They create a lot of wealth, though they will go with nothing.
Yes.
Others, they don't create as much. And the $1 million question is, why that great variance? What is it about certain people?
Yes.
When they came to this phase of eternity, they make a lot of wealth when others struggle. And even when they are returning back home, they have nothing to show. That's $1 billion question. And people have always debated on that. Is it that some people were born poor, were predestined to be poor, and others were predestined to be rich? Others have given excuses. Maybe I was born in a poor family.
Yes.
I come from a poor country.
Yes.
I come from a poor background. I did not go to school. But what is amazing, Vivat, is to see there are people who have come from such backgrounds. There are people who have been born in some similar circumstances.
Yes.
And their story is different.
Absolutely.
That there are people who have risen from grace, from grass to grace, from rags to riches. There are people who have come from the slums of this world, and they have made a lot of money. So is that an excuse? There are people who never went to school. They are illiterate. Others even dropped from school, and they have made riches. So you can't also say, I was not educated. My parents were poor. They never took me to school, because there are people who never had the benefit of going to school, and they still made riches.
Somebody said that you come from a poor background until you are 20, 25. About going forward, you are now the background.
Sure, I like that. But you cannot keep on blaming your background, even in your 20s, when you become an adult. So there is this debate that occurs sometimes in economics classes. Is being rich or poor a choice?
Yes.
And it's a very interesting debate. And those who take the side of it is fate, some people are just meant to be poor. But the question is, the excuse they give don't really stand.
It's not,
because once you say, but some people simply came from poor families, you can't blame them for having been born in poverty.
Yes.
But the same people have people who are born in similar circumstances of poverty, but they deserve to become rich.
Okay.
In fact, there are many people, surprisingly, who are born in in poverty and rose to become very rich.
Yeah.
History is replete with such testimonies. So you can't blame your poverty background, your poor background, to your poverty much later in life. Others, you talk about education. You know what? My parents did not take me to school. I don't have a degree. I don't have college education. I don't even have basic education.
Yeah.
Still, there are people who are never taken to school.
They don't have connection.
They don't even have, they will even say they don't have connection. And yet, they become rich. Others you say, hey, but there are some environments. The climatic conditions are unfavorable.
Yeah.
There are some environments you can't even do business. The land is not even fertile.
Do farming.
Yeah, there are some environments that are simply unfavorable for earth creation. But you know what? God has a way of balancing things.
Yes.
If you read your history well, and especially the economic history of different communities and countries, it's everywhere God created. He compensated for what you may not have for other things.
Yeah.
That's why you discover some lands are very fertile for agriculture, but they do not have oil.
Yeah, that's true.
They do not have minerals because their wealth is in the agriculture.
Yes.
Others are dry lands, but they mine minerals.
They have.
Look at all the countries. Look at all the environment. Even what you are calling semi-arid deserts. Do you know there are people who own camels? Thousands of camels.
Yeah.
God is so faithful.
Yeah.
There is nowhere He has not given something. Just like all of us have a gift.
Yes.
You cannot say that you don't have a gift.
Yeah.
Everybody has a gift. And even every location has a gift. If you visit this country, you'll be surprised. Where it is not arable for agriculture, they have something. There's an economic activity. There's something, economic activity for that community. So it depends on how you look at things. Others you say, me, I have a condition. I was born with some form of a disability. Again, even the people who could be in that situation, there's a gift. Some of the most gifted people we've had are people who are living with disabilities. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
I know of a person who is blind.
Yes.
And I think deaf. One of the two or both. That guy has a great taste of smell that he got employed in one of the breweries.
Yes.
Just to be tasting wine and getting to know. Is it up to the standard? And gets paid a lot of money.
Yes.
Even in your brightness, in your deafness, there's a unique gift in you.
Yes.
That should pave way for wealth creation.
All right.
So I want first of all to deal with that thinking, that mindset.
Yes, to debunk.
To debunk the myth that there are unfavorable circumstances that predispose people to poverty.
Yes.
Because even in those unfavorable circumstances, there are people who somehow they make it.
They're just thriving.
They're thriving. That, mindset is very, very important. And he talked about mindset. We need to cultivate a wealth attitude.
Yes.
An attitude that will help you to create wealth. Some people look at problems in this world as problems.
Yes.
That you predispose you to misery.
As barriers.
Others look at them as opportunities for business. It's simply the way you see things.
Yes.
It's poverty and riches are in your mind. It depends on your mindset. Do you have a wealth mindset or you have a scarcity mindset? That's very critical. But after all is said and done, I have done a study on the rich people in the world. Some of the richest people in the world.
Yes.
Some of the richest corporations in this world. Not only in our country, but globally.
Yes.
And I've come to realize there are certain things people abide by, entities abide by, wealthy people abide by, corporate people abide by, corporate entities abide by, that deliver wealth, that help you in wealth creation.
Okay.
There's a common denominator.
Yes.
And that is summarized by what we call the 5 P's investment model.
All right.
That any financial investment, if it abides by those 5 P's, wealth will be the portion.
Okay.
5 P's investment model that guarantees financial success, that guarantees you to move from one level of economic status to another.
You mean the 5 P's can work for everybody?
Everybody. Even the people who are down there, economically speaking. And people have used it. Even the people who have risen.
Yes.
From grass to grace, from rags to riches. They may not know it, but they employ the 5 P's in one way or another.
Okay.
And all of us may be applying the 5 P's, but only to a limited extent.
Yes.
It depends. It's just like a swimming pool. You can decide to just be playing with the water at the baby pool, at the baby, what is it called? The baby pool.
Yes.
And as an adult, or you can just swim to the deep end and enjoy the swimming, because the swimming is sweet at the deep end.
Yeah.
So what are the 5 P's that have been employed by individual entities, corporate entities, nations, to create wealth, and especially financial wealth? But then they apply in all wealth, forms of wealth. Number 1, purpose.
Okay.
Purpose speaks to the vision. Purpose speaks to the goal for wealth creation.
Okay.
That, a story is told of Abraham. When God told him, you'll be a father of nations. And he's like, I am in my late, is it 90s?
Yeah.
And I don't have a child. How can that be possible?
What are you saying?
And he was told, look up and see the stars. As many as you can see, you can't even count them.
Yeah.
That will be the way your descendants will be. There is something about purpose-driven life that creates a favorable environment, a favorable platform for you to create wealth.
Okay.
Your purpose, your motivation, your vision. How big is your vision? In one of our episodes, we say the poorest person on earth is not a person without money or capital. It's one who doesn't have a dream.
Okay.
How big is your dream? Because where there is vision, backed by faith, it attracts provision. That's why the word provision has two words. Pro, it's a provision for a vision.
Vision. Okay.
So what is your purpose? And depending on how your purpose is, it will determine how far you go in wealth creation.
Okay.
Purpose is important. We started by saying wealth is not a function of a random activity.
Yes.
There's got to be deliberate. You have a definite purpose. There is what you want to do in life.
Yeah.
How you do it.
There are structures.
There are structures. And you can see some of the countries that are very rich, some of the corporate entities that are very rich, some of the people who are very rich they have a definite purpose.
Yes.
They know what they want in life and they have steps towards getting it. They have a vision and they have a mission and they have a strategy. That's purpose. Purpose is very, very, very important.
Somebody said that vision precedes provision.
Exactly. You have put it very nicely. You have nailed it. That vision precedes provision. People who are wealthy, you start seeing your wealth in your mind and believe it in your spirit. We talked about spiritual creation and mental creation.
Yes.
That if you can conceive it in your mind, believe it in your heart, you can have it physically. It will manifest.
All right.
By the way, poverty or riches are just manifestation of what goes on in our spirit and in our mind. So purpose is very, very important.
All right.
Motivation, even the reason of why, what motivates you in creating wealth?
Yes.
That can also be limiting or that can be very enabling.
All right.
What motivates you? What is it for? And I'll give you about 4 dimensions, 4 levels of purpose.
Okay.
The first one is what you call economic engagement. The second one is what you call profit maximization.
Yes.
The third one is what you call socio-economic transformation. And the last but not least is what you call spiritual transformation. The basic in the motivation hierarchy of wealth creation is what you call economic engagement. You are just
doing something.
You're just doing something economically for survival.
Okay.
You don't care whether you're making profit or not. We are waking up to something. We are busy making money, whether we are making a loss or not. What we know, at least it keeps us going.
We are doing something.
We are doing something. And somehow it brings us bread, whether it is sustainable or not. And there are many people in that space
All right.
who don't stay and reflect and ask themselves, by the way, did we make money or we are just exchanging money for money? Economic engagement.
Yes.
You're busy, a busybody.
Yes.
But there's a difference between being busy, business, and being in business.
All right.
You've got to be in business. But let's start, that's the bottom motivation. That's the bottom, that your purpose is just to be involved in something.
Yeah.
Whether you are progressing.
At least you're not called jobless.
Yeah, you're not called jobless. Even if you are mark timing.
Yes.
You can be mark timing every day and counting the steps, but you're not moving forward.
Yes.
We used to define work in physics when we were in school. That physics is work done.
Okay.
I mean, no. Work done, not physics. Work done is what? You remember the formula? The formula was work done is force times distance. So you could be having a lot of force doing things, But are you covering any distance? If the distance is 0, work done becomes
0.
Because you multiply F 4 times distance. So that's one level. And there are many people in that space. They are very busy doing a lot of economic activities, but they don't try to balance to see, am I making money or I'm just mark timing?
The results.
The results. You're laughing, but you'll be surprised how many of us do that.
Yes.
They don't reflect. They don't do what they call assessment, economic assessment. Number 2, and many people also in that space, is what you call profit maximization. Profit-driven investment. And many companies, many corporate entities, and many business people, many investors are in that space, whereby what really matters is you're making money.
Yes.
So any investment is subjected to economic assessment, economic feasibility.
Yes. What are the returns?
What are the returns? What is the profit like?
Yes.
That's a better place to be in, so that you don't just do things aimlessly. There's a name, there's a goal. And that is also very, very important, because an investment cannot be sustainable unless it is profitable. For an investment to be sustainable, it must be profitable. It must be returning some money. It must be giving more revenue than the cost of doing the business or of your initial investment outlay. So but we are saying that is not enough. Businesses that have done very well, companies that have done very well, investments that have done very well, they had a greater purpose than profit maximization.
Okay.
They go beyond profit maximization.
Yes.
And if you look at their purpose statement, their mission statement, their vision statement, it goes beyond just
profits.
Making profits. And the third one is what we are calling socio-economic transformation. That you don't exist. The investment is not just to make profits.
Yes.
But it is geared towards transforming the livelihoods of other people, improving the welfare of other people.
Yes.
That it's not just about you. Profit could be just about you.
That's impacting lives.
Yeah, exactly. You're leaving a significance upon the lives of other people.
Yes.
That you want to uplift communities. You're helping other families. You're giving back to the society. You want to have what you call economic transformation. It's not just about making money for yourself,
yes,
but impacting the society, impacting community, helping the disadvantaged, those who are down there.
Serving people.
That's a greater motivation. And that motivation attracts more wealth than the other two.
Okay.
The moment that your agenda is bigger than yourself, you leave a greater impact. Just like what we said, that if you help enough people to get what they want,
yes,
you get what you want.
Wow.
That's what the Bible says. It is more blessed to give than to receive. That you don't just receive profits.
Yes.
You are helping other people. You are serving the community. You get more. And last but not least, as far as purpose is concerned, is what we call spiritual transformation.
Yes.
Now, this is at the pinnacle of purpose for wealth creation. That you appreciate the earth is the Lord's and everything in it.
Yes.
The world and all who live in it. That all wealth belongs to the Lord, the maker of the universe. That naked I came from whatever I was coming from, and naked I shall depart.
So this is becoming selfless.
Becoming selfless and knowing that I'm just a steward.
Yeah.
Whatever I have is not mine. I'm just a custodian, I'm just a steward that God has appointed to be a fund manager. And therefore, I need to create wealth and manage wealth, knowing that it does not belong to me.
Okay.
That I use wealth now for spiritual transformation, for the Great Commission to make disciples of all nations, teach them what God has commanded us to do.
Yes.
That to you, making wealth and managing wealth is a form of worship.
Wow.
That it's a service you are rendering to God. That this wealth is not yours. You're managing on behalf of God. And therefore, you should use the right principles and values to create wealth and manage wealth.
All right.
That the end does not justify the means.
Yes.
There are people who are like, as long as they can make some money, the end justifies the means. You lose it.
Provided the end game is money.
And there are many people who pursue wealth like that.
Yes.
They don't have eternity. They don't have the spiritual dimension. And that's why they get a lot of money, but they are not satisfied with it.
All right, Daktari.
Yeah.
I think our time is pretty much well spent.
Yeah.
And we are drawing to the conclusion. I think just at that point, because you've handled the purpose, and you've talked about, the building blocks for that purpose.
Yeah.
Would you want to just give us the final remarks as we draw to the end?
The Bible says, you ask and receive not because you ask for the wrong motivation.
Okay.
And I want to encourage the viewers and the listeners, even in their process to create wealth, let's have the right purpose for wealth creation. Let it be not just for our own selfishness, to serve our own interest, but let it be for transforming communities, for transforming societies, for improving the livelihoods of other people. And not only that, as a form of worship for God, as a form of fulfilling the Great Commission. For that's why we were meant to create wealth.
Amen. Thank you so much, Dr. That was so profound. Maybe in the next weekend, what should we do?
We will continue to unlevel, to discuss the 5P investment model.
All right.
That is what is that has passed the test of time and place.
All right.
To create wealth.
Great. Thank you so much for creating time to join us tonight on the Overflow Show. This is where you live your life in abundance. And I just want to say thank you so much. May God keep you. May He go ahead of you. And of course, just keep safe. See you next weekend, same time and same place. They call me Favored Frank. Bye-bye.